What's up, YouTube family, and welcome to the new hopefully, weekly pregnancy update with me, Leslie. And I just kind of wanted to do like a recap of what's been going on with me and the changes in my body and with growing baby Henry, because I haven't really talked about all of the changes that have gone on over the past 18 weeks. And I know some of you are probably wondering what it's been like and how I'm doing, how I'm feeling, how he's growing, and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to take this time to just give a little update, from the beginning up until now. So the first trimester, I would say, was really hard because I was extremely tired, more tired than I normally am. I, on a regular basis, require a lot of sleep, and so I'm just getting tired thinking about it. So the first trimester, I had hardly any energy to do anything. And it kind of reminded me of when I had mono back in the 9th grade, where I would take a nap, get up to go use the bathroom, and have to take another 2-hour nap because I was so exhausted. So on top of being exhausted all the time, I was nauseous too, all day long. And thankfully I never got sick, but I was just really nauseous from the time that I woke up until the time I went to sleep, and everything in between. I was extremely nauseous, and the nausea got really bad when I got hungry. So I was constantly eating. I was eating about 5-6 full meals a day from the time I got up until, so that was the time that I took Paisley to preschool in the morning until the, like 10-11 o'clock at night whenever I went to bed. Like, I remember sitting on the bed in my pajamas, ready to go to sleep, so exhausted, eating. And in that moment, if I had to choose between eating and sleeping, I would have chose sleeping. But I knew that if I didn't eat, I was going to be so nauseous. So anyway, so I had to eat. And I kept a pack of crackers, saltine crackers, on my nightstand by the bed. So in the morning when I would wake up, I would eat a couple of crackers laying down before I even got out of bed. And Daniel tells a story about how the alarms went off and it was pitch black in our room, and he heard me crunching on some crackers and just started dying laughing. And so, I mean, you do what you gotta do, and that's what I had to do. And I'll tell you, eating those 2 crackers, laying down in the bed before I got up, really helped my nausea. So I want to say thank you to my mom for that tip, because she told me to do that, and it really did help for a few weeks. And actually, I still have those packs of crackers by my bed, just in case if the nausea returns, because you never know what can happen in pregnancy. So I was really tired, nauseous, major mood swings. So I would just go from 0 to biting someone's head off in no time. And people out in the world really didn't get a glimpse of that because I tried to keep it under wraps. But poor Daniel and Paisley, I mean, I just gotta say, poor Daniel and Paisley. So I apologize to them for biting their heads off a couple of times. But I will say, in the first trimester too, I didn't really feel like myself, and that kind of worried me to a certain extent, because I thought that that feeling of me not feeling like me was never going to return. But thankfully in the second trimester it did. But there were many times when I thought to myself, like, I don't know if I can do this. Like, what? Like, I don't even like feel human. It was a really, really, really hard time. And like to the point where I was like, if I had to choose between being pregnant again or adopting again for our third child, I am choosing adoption, because this is hard. It is very hard. And I am 33 years old, so I'm not as young as some people are when they have their first child, their first biological child. So being 33 and pregnant is hard. And something else too, if you remember back earlier of last year, I had a nerve block done in my lower back because I've got a slip disc. So with the growing baby, it put a lot of pressure on my back and a lot of pain. Like probably more pain than I had before I had the nerve block done. It was that severe the first trimester. But thankfully, as he has grown and shifted from my lower region and he's moving up now, my back doesn't hurt near as bad as it has in the first trimester. I think that about wraps it up for the first trimester. So in summary, nausea, extreme tiredness, mood swings, lower backache. I even had a couple of migraines that were really severe, so severe I called my doctor to see if they could call me in some kind of prescription for my headache, and thankfully they did. You know, I've got chronic migraines, and knock on wood that I really have not had near as many headaches or migraines being pregnant as I did when I wasn't pregnant. So thank you, hormones, for that. So moving on to second trimester, so I guess that started around 13 weeks. I started getting my energy back again. I started feeling like I could like actually do stuff around the house and not feel exhausted. I mean, I still would take my nap during the day while Paisley was at preschool. I would do stuff in the mornings. We'll go drop her off, do stuff in the mornings around the house, and then around lunchtime, eat me some lunch. Well, I sit down in my chair, eat me some lunch, and then have like about 30 minutes to an hour nap before it was time for me to get ready to go get her. And that was extremely helpful. But started getting my energy back, doing more stuff. I actually felt that fog of not feeling like myself being lifted. So second trimester, feel much more like myself now. I'm not eating near as much as I was in the first trimester. I mean, I still eat every couple of hours, but not those huge massive meals that I was eating in the first trimester. So I can eat smaller meals throughout the day to kind of keep me sustained. Drinking lots of water. I never really was a soda drinker before the pregnancy. I drank water for the most part, and my sweet tea, because being in the South, gotta have your sweet tea, and then coffee. So but now I'm drinking a lot more water. I can tell a huge difference, especially in the mornings if I'm not drinking an adequate enough water. And I've also started drinking white grape juice, which has been really good. And I can have some caffeine during the day, so I'll have a small glass of sweet tea, and I can even have, I think it's up to 12 ounces of coffee a day. So if I have to have coffee, which is not very often, like maybe once every 2 weeks, maybe twice every 2 weeks, I don't know, not that often, I'll just drink about 8 ounces, and then that's good. But for the most part, I'm finished with caffeine, just drinking a lot of water, drinking juice, and just making sure I stay hydrated. because without this H2O, I can tell a big difference. I'm just doing a second trimester update. And I will say too, something I didn't say on my first trimester, was I was like hot, like a lot hot, like sweating like hot. So my hormones were just so out of whack, almost like I was going through menopause or something. I don't know, it was awful. I'm not as hot as that moment in time, but I will say, like, at night I do get hot, and poor Daniel, he sleeps with 3 covers, 2 blankets, and I sleep with just 2 covers, and I'm like still burning up at night. So bless his heart. I will say, obviously, one of the symptoms of being pregnant is having to go to the bathroom a lot. So I pretty much go to the bathroom once every couple of hours, maybe more, depending on if I'm doing a lot of walking around, because for some reason that just kind of stirs everything up when you're walking around and just kind of puts pressure on the bladder too. So in the middle of the night is awfully frustrating because, you know, I'm getting up at least twice to go to the bathroom and go to sleep, whereas before I was pregnant I was getting up maybe one time, maybe, to go use the bathroom, but that's all right. One time I did count, and I wasn't sleeping that well that night. I did count. I did get up one night and go to the bathroom 10 times. So that was kind of excessive and awfully inconvenient because you have to get out of bed and walk to the bathroom. Anyways, there are worse things, but that leads me to week 18 update as it's happening this week. So my week 18 update is I'm feeling lots better as far as my energy goes, still feeling like myself, positive. I mean, he's growing. Had a checkup last Thursday, everything was looking good, and so we are really, really thankful for that. Still going to the bathroom a lot. I'm still eating, you know, a good portion. I'll go to work in the evenings, have me supper there, and then when I get home, usually I'll eat something when I get home. Not like a full meal like I was before, but a little snack or something before going to bed. I will say though, over the course of being pregnant, I've only weighed myself one time at home. Now every checkup, they do a few things, regular routines over and over and over again. One of those is weighing to make sure that you are gaining a healthy amount of weight. And so obviously I've seen the scale go up, 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 and this is the most I've ever weighed in my life. So when I weighed myself at home, this was a few weeks ago, probably around 14 or 15 weeks, and I was like crying my eyes out because I was like, I feel so fat. Like I was at the fat feeling stage of being pregnant. And ladies who've been pregnant, you know what I'm talking about. Like, your stomach's starting to grow, but you don't look pregnant. You look more like you have a beer belly, food gut. And that's what I was feeling, because I was like, I feel so fat. Like, none of my clothes fit. And the pregnancy clothes I do have are kind of too big. So it was kind of that weird in-between stage, and it was just kind of depressing because I just felt like I was fat. Didn't even feel like I was pregnant at that point in time. At this point in time, I'm not feeling the baby move, although I think I have felt him move. I don't really know exactly what that feels like. I know people have said butterfly fluttering, but I've just felt like some pressure on my stomach of where I think he is positioned. So I don't think that that's necessarily him moving unless he's like doing this number on my stomach constant. And that's all the update I have for y'all today, and hopefully this time next week we can meet again. I'll just give you another weekly update about what's going on, if there's anything new. It might be same old, same old. Anyways, all in all, I am feeling much better than I was even just a few weeks ago. And the sicknesses that we picked up over Thanksgiving and Christmas, those were not very good, because let me tell you something. I have a weak immune system as is, so throw in not being able to have adequate medication, being able to go to see a regular doctor to get whatever this is cleared up, was awful. So if you see a pregnant lady and they are sick, please, 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 please show them grace and mercy, because there's not a whole lot that they can take to help clear up their symptoms fast. It takes time. I'm still fighting nasal stuff even from almost 4 weeks ago. And Daniel and Paisley are completely healed because they went to the doctor. So anyways, sickness and pregnancy does not mix at all. But I've enjoyed this time together, and thank you for watching. I look forward to spending this time with y'all every week and just talking about baby Henry and talking about how he's growing, how I'm feeling, what's new and upcoming, and just the anticipation of meeting him soon. But anyways, I hope y'all have a great week and a blessed day, and talk to y'all soon. Bye y'all. Peace.